Okay, once I'm sure that I'm live... Oops, it's going through the YouTube. There's the Twitch. Alright. Turn that up a little bit. Okay, I'm not sure how this is gonna go, because it still has my old data and everything, but let's go ahead and start. Actually, hold up. No. Shit, I think I fucked up. No. 1 second. This is already a fantastic start to the stream. Hold up. Because I think... what I need to do is clear up the load data. Here we are. Carry over. Do I want to challenge myself? You know what? Nah, we'll just do hard. I'm not even gonna chance it. Daddy's really late. We've got a message from the guild saying he'd be home today, too. The chair's gone traveling around the kingdom since I got a training. I'm so bored. Just practice with my staff a bit before dinner. Hey, I'm home. Daddy? Sorry to keep you waiting, Estelle. Take good care of the house while I was away? Of course I did. Did you run any trouble, Daddy? You didn't get hurt fighting the bad monsters, did you? Nope, I'm as fit as a fiddle. That reminds me, though. I bought you a present. Really? What kind of present? A new fishing pole? Sneakers? Something for my training? Maybe I raised you wrong, Estelle. Aren't little girls supposed to like clothes and jewelry? They're pretty clothes, but they can get dirty. And jewelry breaks when you play outside with it on. Anyway, Daddy, what's with the big blanket? Is that my present? Oh, you're a sharp one. Why don't you come have a look? What? Well, here you are. Quite a handsome boy, don't you think? What? Why is my present a boy? Don't make such a fuss or you'll wake him up. Wake him up? You mean he's still alive? He's kind of dead if you ask me. I treated his wounds, but he should be in stable condition. In the meantime, however, you'll need to let him rest. I'll put him to bed. If you wouldn't mind handing a kettle of water on the stove, I'd appreciate it. Okay. Sure sounds, sleeps soundly. Almost looks the same age as me. First time I've seen that black hair like that, too. He certainly does have a nice head of dark hair, and a pair of amber eyes to go with it. That's nice and all, but how would you come clean and fess up? Fess up? Yeah, who's this kid anyway? And why is he hurt? Why'd you bring him to our house? Is he an illegitimate child or something? Did you betray Mommy? Where have you been picking up these kind of words? No doubt for Scheherazade, I assume. Yep, that's right. For heaven's sake, that girl's gonna get me into trouble one of these days with all her nonsense. Actually, I just met this boy while I was out on business. I don't even know his name. You mean bracer business? Something like that. Oh, look. Huh? He's waking up. Wow, his eyes really are the color of amber. Where am I? So you're awake now, are you? Welcome to my humble home. You'll be safe here, so please try to rest. What are you trying to pull? Huh? You must be out of your mind. Why didn't you just leave me there to die? Why? Well, there's a question I don't know how to answer. Does things just work out that way work for you? Don't toy with me, Cassius Bright. Do you have any idea what you're getting yourself involved in? Hey. You're shouting a lot for someone who's supposed to be hurt. Running your mouth like that is gonna make it take longer for your body to heal. Just who are you supposed to be? I'm Estelle. Estelle Bright. She's my daughter. Don't you remember telling me that I had a daughter your age? Now that you mention it. Wait a minute. Don't try to change the sub... Ow! Quit yelling. Alright already. You jumping on me like that isn't gonna make me heal any faster either. I don't hear you yelling again, do I? Look, jumping on me like that is just gonna make things worse. Do I hear yelling? Never mind. Just forget it. As a word of advice, it'd be wise not to argue with Estelle while you're in this house. Even I wouldn't stand a chance if I made her mad enough. Yeah, I can see that. By the way, aren't you forgetting something? Huh? Your name. You know, that thing that people call you? I told you mine already. Don't you think it'd be unfair and impolite not to tell me yours? It seems like the logical thing to do if you ask me. Trying to hide it now would only serve to your detriment. Fine. My name is... I know this might not exactly be fair since I'm going into this with a lot of carryover data and not blind, but at the same time, this is one of my favorite RPGs, so I love coming back to this every once in a while. So bright in here. I slept like a rock. That must mean it's Dad's turn to cook this morning. I wonder if it means Joshua's still in bed. Guess that's a no. I guess I better get myself ready to cook then, too. Nice, Joshua. Bravo. Good morning, Estelle. Hope I didn't wake you. Nah, I was already up when I heard you start to play. I can't believe how awake you are, though. Even the roosters still have bags under their eyes. Not that I mind, with that siren song of yours gently lulling this beautiful woman from her slumber. What do you mean, woman? The same age and I'm hardly a man. How wrong you are, Joshua. Maybe the same age, but I'm clearly the woman of the house. That makes you something like my loyal follower, wouldn't you agree? Yeah, how fortunate for you. You could at least try and sound a tiny bit sincere. It really is a nice tune, though. Cheerful, yet somehow wistful. I like your other songs too, of course, but this one's my favorite. What's it called again? The Whereabouts of Light. That's right, The Whereabouts of Light. Wish I could play the harmonica like you, Joshua. Sadly, it's a lot harder than it looks. Compared to what it takes to use a staff, I think the harmonica is much easier. It's really just a matter of concentration. Probably right. I guess my problem is that if I don't do something that uses my whole body, I start to feel drowsy. Okay, playing the harmonica is fine and all, but how about getting some exercise too? Well, your hobbies are sitting around kind of stuff like reading and music. No girl is going to be impressed with just that. Excuse me for being so unpopular with the ladies. Though I feel I should be the one lecturing you about your hobbies. I mean, what kind of boy wants a girl who loves fishing, collecting bugs, and has a fetish for sports shoes? That's enough talk about about hobbies for now. And just for your information, I graduated from bug collecting a long time ago. Really? I'll believe it when I stop finding beetles in the hallway. Hey, Estelle, Joshua. Morning, Dad. Morning, Dad. Is breakfast ready? It's ready and waiting. Why don't you both go and hurry on down before it gets cold? Okay, on my way. Thanks for the grub, Dad. Why am I stuffed? Are you eating or inhaling, Estelle? People say, kids who eat and sleep a lot grow a lot. I'll make sure you get enough to eat. Don't forget to pour that energy into your work, too. Reminds me, you two are finishing up your training at the guild today, aren't you? That's right. It'll be a review of everything we learned up to this point. And once we're finished, we'll end up bracers just like you, Dad. Because I'm not going to let you treat me like a kid anymore, either. You still lack understanding, Estelle. You can only become a junior bracer in the beginning. In other words, a trainee. If you want to be treated like an adult, you should have to work extra hard in your training to become a full-fledged bracer. I'm not afraid of a little hard work. Just you watch and see what I'm capable of, Dad. I'll be so successful that it won't be long before I pass you, too. That's the spirit. Let's see what you're made of, then, shall we? Let's not start a rivalry here, you two. Estelle, keep your focus on the task at hand. We'll have a test later on today, remember? Huh? Wait, what test? Please tell me you didn't forget about the test, Estelle. You know, the one that checks whether or not you've mastered the skills you've been learning in training? Don't you remember Cher saying that if we failed, we'd be stuck with a ton of extra homework? Crap. Totally forgot. Now that you mention, I guess I kind of remember her saying something like that. Don't sweat it. I'm sure we'll manage somehow or other. I honestly don't know how you survived this long, Estelle. Your brain is like a sieve? Papa is sad. How could any child of mine end up with such a careless, over-optimistic personality? You're the one that raised me, so I definitely got it from you. I swear, the two of you act so much alike, but whatever. We should probably head over to the guild soon, Estelle. Cher is going to be waiting there for us. Sounds like a plan. You know how crazy scary she gets when someone keeps her waiting. And before I forget, it's my turn to cook dinner tonight. Is there anything in particular you'd like to eat, Dad? Any requests? Something I'd like to eat, huh? How about Rouen-style scalloped eggs in balsamic vinegar sauce? What's that? I think it's a little more than Estelle's cooking skills can handle, or our stomachs. You're right. I just wanted to see what reaction I could get. I'll just have the usual fried rice and omelet. Or fried fish and omelet. You don't need to do anything fancy, but do try to make something edible. Rude. can't actually say he's wrong. Actually, I do have one favor to ask before you head out. I'd like you to pick up a copy of the Liberal News from the General New Goods Store. We're supposed to be getting the latest edition in today. Got it. One edition from is it Liberal? Liberal? I don't know. Liberal News from the General Goods Store. If there's any money left over, you can have it as your allowance. However, that means no wasteful spending. Alright, thanks, Dad. Okay, we're heading out now. See you later, Dad. Work hard and give Scheherazade my regards. Okay, so we're actually in the game now. This is gonna be awkward. Oh, that is so weird. Okay. Okay, so first things first. I gotta figure out my controls. There we go. Like I said, it's a little bit cheating because we're gonna have some endgame stuff. But go ahead and give her the Valkyrie dress. Okay, so which one was my best equipment? Fire-based, water-based, earth-based, defense. Prevents all abnormal statuses except KO. That's a pretty good item. That'll save us from a lot of trouble. And then I think we should have an item. Auto CP up. We lose some defense, but we get some attack. That's fine because we have more than defense than we really need at this point. And then we do the same thing with Joshua. Same thing, the Grail Locket, and the Auto CP up. That is actually going to save us so much trouble. Okay, even though I have all of these, we need to wait on this a bit, because this is going to unlock in the actual story. And I believe I have to do a couple things. If I remember right, it's pretty much a clear shot to the city. We don't have to worry about too much of monsters on the road. Looks like we've made good time. Not too early or too late either. Barely graduated from Sunday school. Never dreamed we'd study so hard to become bracers. But you're in luck. Today's our last day of training. Truth be told, though, you're the one who signed up to be a bracer in the first place. So I don't know why you expect to get away with any less effort. Yeah, I guess I did. Alright then. Let's get to it and make it to the last hazing from Shara. You look ready to me. Let's go meet Shara at the Bracer Guild over there then. Okay, before we do anything else, there's a couple things I need to do. I don't think I could buy the Liberal News yet. Good morning, Mr. Renan. Hello there, Still and Joshua. You're up rather early today. Did you come here to buy a new pair of shoes? How'd you mention it? Are there any new ones in stock? You know, like the newest Stragus? Unbelievable, you've actually forgotten why we came here to begin with. We're not here to shop. We're supposed to be buying a copy of the Liberal News for Dad, right? Of course. You've always been a big collector of those shoes, haven't you, Estelle? I'm afraid the new Stragus aren't out yet. If you're after the latest issue of Liberal News, though, I should have them around noon. Noon, huh? That's right in the middle of our training at the guild house. We'll stop by after our training is over. Sure, I'll be waiting for you. Okay. So, the first thing I need to do... So there's a bit of a hidden side quest. I'm gonna try my best to remember. I believe it's not in here. I believe it starts off in here. This guy. Glory of the Kingdom. Compendium of Ormond Technology. Guide to Relent Religion. The Septium Church and the Bracer Guild. I wonder where that book I just bought the other day went. Looks like I'm gonna have to put these books in order. Okay, maybe I'm not able to do it just yet. But he will have the first book I need in a chain. honestly. I might have to pull up a guide for it, because it's... some of it is very specific timing. Alright, let's go into the guild. There you two are. Good morning, Estelle. Good morning, Joshua. Good morning, Aina. Good morning. Is Shara here already? Yeah, she's waiting for you upstairs. Once you finish today's training, you'll finally be recognized as a member of the Bracer Guild. Good luck to the both of you. Thanks. We'll do our best. The Star and the Hangman. The Hermit and the Magician. And last of all, Inversion through the Wheel of Fortune. Typical combination. How should I interpret this? Good morning, Shara. It isn't Estelle and Joshua. It's a rare occasion for the both of you to show up so early. For my last day of training, I figured why not? I'm ready to get this show on the road and become a bracer myself. I give you credit for your enthusiasm. I'm going to work you hard today in every way I can think of to make sure the high-spirited attitude of yours holds up. Hope you're ready. I can feel that enthusiasm dropping already. Quiet, you. Every time I teach you something, you somehow manage to forget it. This training is my way of trying to keep some of that information in your head instead of letting it dribble out of your ears like it usually does. Joshua, Shara's picking on me. Don't worry, Shara. While Estelle may hate studying and rarely ever does her homework, acts rashly, is overly naive, and has a tendency to stick her nose into everything. Her instincts are sharp. I'm sure she'll pick up how to use an orbment with some practice. Eventually. Probably. I guess there's not much I can do except hope for the best. Hold on a second, Joshua. Somehow I get the feeling you weren't standing up for me. Well, that's odd. I'm positive described all your best traits accurately. Whatever. By the way, Shara, what were you trying to predict with your tarot cards? Your face was really intent. Oh, this? I was just trying to get a vague reading on what might happen in the near future. Unfortunately, I don't seem to have been in the right mindset to interpret the cards correctly. You couldn't read the cards? That's surprising to hear. Actually, the more profound the meaning of the cards, the more difficult they become to interpret. Wow. Already losing my ability to speak. But that's not important now. I think it's time we start your final training. I'll give you a brief rundown of all the information we've covered in the previous training. It's the minimum level of knowledge that bracers should have in order to function effectively. And Estelle, make sure you pay close attention to what I'm going to say. Yeah. Orbits are mechanical devices which operate by using what is known as orbital energy. A variety of effects can be produced depending on their structure and type of quartz, or process septium installed. Though it's only about 50 years since their invention, these devices play an integral role in all facets of life, from lights, heaters, and everyday products to weapons, magic, and even airships. In connection, this technological reform is commonly known as orbital revolution. Bracers are investigative and combat specialists who work to protect civilians and maintain the stability of the respective regions. They aid the community in various ways, such as exterminating monsters, preventing crime, fighting lost items, and escorting people and goods. The Bracer Guild, which has established branches across the continent, manage the affairs of the bracers in each region. And then finally, the Liberal Kingdom. The Kingdom of Liberal is which we sit on the western half of the Zumerian continent, in a balance of nature and deep-rooted traditions. While it's proud to be one of the leading producers of septium on the continent, is known for a high level of technology used to develop orbments. Orbment technology has also been a key pillar of support for Liberal in protecting its independence as contended with neighboring nations. 10 years ago, when Liberal was invaded by the Erebonian Empire, it was the use of orbital-powered airships that saved the kingdom from defeat. Consequently, even now, our relationship with the Empire is somewhat sensitive, but thanks to the Queen's political finesse, Liberal enjoys peace. Okay, so that's all the background information. Let's see, since you've got a mountain of stuff to do today, I'll let you off the hook this time with a condensed review. I'm going to speed things up now and move on to the practical portion of your training. Shara, how is today's practical training any different from the training we've done before? Since it's practical, that means you'll be experiencing things firsthand. Therefore, I'm going to have you run through everything as if this was a real bracer job. So what you're saying is there won't be sitting at a desk involved? Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. This time you'll have to go out and make a physical effort to accomplish your task. I'll make sure to have you work up a sweat, so I hope you're ready. Yes, that's seriously just what the doctor ordered. I just don't know what I was going to do if I had to sit behind a desk on my tush parked at another day with my tush parked at a desk. Guess I got worried for nothing. Suddenly you're all bright and cheerful, Estelle. Let's just hope that smile of yours lasts until the end of today's training. Okay, let's get cracking on your first objective, shall we? Let's have at it. Your first objective will be confirming the details of the job you'll be performing. Before that, there's something we need to give to both of you. Aina, are they ready? Yes, they are. Alright, you two. Get one for each of yourselves. These are very important, so make sure not to lose them. Bracer notebooks serve as the official way to record the status of your current jobs. Also, anything you hear or anything you might find and where. These type of trivial things can often become clues. No matter how insignificant something may seem, always write it down. Understood. Crap, this sounds like it's going to be a pain. Oh? Please tell me it was my ears playing tricks on me, because I swear I only heard one response. I'm sure there were two. Keeping an accurate account of events is a really important duty for all bracers. So get with the program and stop trying to make this out to be more than it really is, Estelle. Okay, I got it. Make sure you do. Alright then, let's begin. Look over by the door, you'll see that there's a bulletin board standing there. First, I want you to go and check the job descriptions posted there. The bulletin board is approached, an exclamation mark will appear. Pressing the OK will display the job list. By selecting the job's name on the list, you can view their details. Okay, so... and just where you think you're going, we aren't finished with training. I didn't mean to run for the door, I was going here. Okay, so we got training retrieval. So this is how most of the job quests are going to be throughout the game. It'll give us an idea of what we're expected to do. Some of it is like defeat monsters. It'll even tell us how long we have in terms of completing a quest. So the term for this is long. The training will involve searching the sewers beneath Relent and bring back the contents of the chest. Essentially what the time limit is, like some certain quests advance time a little bit. So you should make sure you do all your side quests before doing like main story. So we have that. Details of the job confirm that the bulletin board and other important events will automatically record in the Bracer notebook. The Bracer notebook can be easily found by clicking the Books tab in the Items menu. It can also be accessed by configuring our Bracer Book shortcut button on the Configure menu. Very good. Looks like you're able to see what was posted without any trouble. Checking the bulletin board is one of the most basic functions that Bracer performs in their job. Checking regularly to see whether or not there are any urgent tasks which needs immediate attention is also an important duty for Bracers. And all this talk about duty is starting to cramp my style. Sure, there are a lot of rules to follow, but there's an equal level of responsibility in the jobs themselves. I think being a Bracer calls for someone much more than just someone with a half-hearted attitude. I guess you're right. You just have to be more motivated. Is that so? Had a change of heart, have you? You betcha. Well, before all that innovation sneaks off somewhere, let's get to work on your next task. What will we be doing this time? We'll be heading across the street to Mr. Melder's Orbital Factory and learning how to use its services. He's graciously taking time out of his work schedule to explain things, so make sure to be on your best behavior. Okay. Here's where you'll learn how to use the Orbital Factory services. At an Orbital Factory, you can modify your orbments and synthesize support quartz in order to use orbital hearts. Hearts have a wide range of effects and if mastered can be extremely helpful. Bracer's business is a pretty risky occupation, so the guild has a long-standing relationship with all-use orbital factories. Anyway, this is about as much as I can explain. I'll leave the technical details to the expert. So Mr. Melders, if you wouldn't mind taking over from here. No problem. Leave everything to me. So what would you like to know? Orbments are mechanical devices which exhibit an array of effects to the installation of various types of quartz. By definition, that means that lights, airship engines, and so on are also types of orbments. However, the ones we will be discussing today are battle orbments, which enhance the user's physical abilities and make it possible to use magic. Since each orbment is adjusted to match the owner's personal aptitude, the structures for these devices also differ for each owner. Simply put, the shape of the fixed elemental slots and the lines which connect them vary. At any rate, that's the layman's explanation. In order to install quartz, one must first have an open slot. By default, the central slot is open, but the other slots must be open at an orbital factory like this. It'll take a fair amount of setup too. EP, which is needed for magic, will also see a max increase according to the number of open slots. I recommend opening them all as soon as possible. So what would you like to know about? Luckily, I already have all of that opened, as we're carrying over from the previous game. This is kind of a pain in the ass to do. Simply put, orbital arts are the magic which can be discharged exclusively through the use of battle orbments. In other words, a number of peculiar effects can be produced by using orbital energy stored in these mechanical devices. Since orbital arts can be a mouthful, they're almost universally referred to as arts. Probably ought to have been called it from the get-go. There are several types of arts, but in order to be able to use them, their corresponding quartz must first be synthesized in an orbital factory. Armors are also set up that once a particular quartz is installed in a slot, the owner will be able to use those arts. The type of arts that one can also use also changes depending on the elemental value and the combination of installed quartz. Basically, if you want to use water quartz, all you have to do is install quartz with the water elemental value. In reality, ornaments are much more complex than I have described, but I think this information will suffice for now. Would you like to know? Quartz are circuits made from sepith. Quartz have a vast number of effects and raises the owner's proper abilities, while simultaneously make it impossible to use arts. However, you'll not be able to harness any of these effects until quartz have been installed into a slot. However, there are also fixed slots in which only a certain type of elemental quartz can be installed. This being the case, when you synthesize a new quartz, be sure to check your ornament and decide where you will be installing it ahead of time. So what is it you'd like to know? And then finally we have sepith. Sepith are fragments of septium which are dropped by monsters. They're divided into 7 types: Earth brown, Water blue, Fire red, Wind green, Time black, Space gold, Mirage silver. Sepith can be exchanged for mirror almost anywhere, but the Orbital Factory can be used to synthesize quartz in the open ornament slots in which to install the synthesized quartz. Oh, good God, that's a lot of explanation. Okay, cool. It looks like Mr. Milders has answered all your questions. If there's nothing else, then let's have you both try and use the services here. For that, you're going to need some sepith. With that amount, you two should be able to synthesize a few quartz. I want you to first begin by making an elemental quartz that will work with each of your particular ornaments. In your case, any elemental quartz is okay, but for you, Joshua, it has to be a time elemental quartz. Normally at a shop, you'll be able to exchange sepith for Mira, but this training, you will not be able to use this service. Upon approaching the counter, a talk mark will appear. Pressing the OK button will display a list of options. Select Modify or Trade to use the Orbital Factory services. Good work so far. Give Eddie off, or Freddy a holler over there. Okay, so what we gotta do is we need at least one action. Oh no, it's so expensive. And we'll take an attack one. There we go. Okay, so the main thing here, I'm actually not sure how I want to set this up. I know for sure we want to give her attack. Okay, so here's the main thing. If I put one attack, I can't then go like, I can't do attack 3, do an attack 2, or like attack 1. It's all off the limits, so it's always best to just put the max one. EP cuts an option. I could do no encounters. That's an option. No, we want to do... Hold up. This did not work yet. I don't know what the combination is. Hold up. Oh, maybe I already have it. No, these are the ones. Impede's pretty good. You can stop enemies from attacking before they get the chance to, and then maybe I want to do some critical strikes. That sounds good. Okay. Joshua's a bit interesting because he can only use... He's got a couple spots where he can only use some of these. So it might be good to go Death Blow 1. Just because we can insta-kill enemies. Even though we should be able to insta-kill most things pretty quick anyway. Actually, no, we don't need Death Blow. Now that I'm thinking about it. But we will do Action 3. And we will do... Time to cast is greatly reduced. You finished installing your quartz, have you? Since you both recovering and attack art setup, it appears you don't need any more instructions from me about how to do this task. You balance your arts out between each other you've done here. It should make dealing with monsters much easier. Additionally, your bracer notebooks contains information which quartz allow you to do which arts. If you'd like to use more powerful arts, check back the arts and quartz chart in your bracer notebook and you find something that works for you. Conclude your training here in the Orbital Factory. Now it's time to move on what you've both been waiting for, the qualification test. Pardon? Did you say test? You can't honestly say that you forgot about the test again, can you? Didn't I remind you just this morning? Now you mention it, I vaguely remember some sort of talk along the lines of the breakfast table. Sometimes I fear for the future of the Bracer Guild and humanity. Oh well, no sense worrying about that now. Let's head over to the testing area. You mean like now? I don't think I'm ready for... How about a little less yapping and a little more walking? Joshua, help me. Mr. Melders, Freddy, thank you for all your help today. Don't mention it. Good luck with that test of yours. I'll be rooting for you. I'm going to remember that you left me high and dry like this, Joshua. All your training has finally come down to this. The qualification test will begin here. So to see you both use what you've learned up to this point. Understood. What's wrong, Estelle? Share? What now? I was kind of wondering, but is there not going to be a paper test or something? Did Cassia drop you on your head as a child or something? You just read what was said on the bulletin board not long ago, right? Yeah, and I even made you jot down what you read in your bracer notebook, unless you forgot that too. I'm pretty sure the job listing mentioned searching for and retrieving an item from the sewers. Ringing any bells yet? What a relief. Oh, divine adios. I give thanks to thee for thy infinite grace in bestowing upon us such wonderful gifts as sewers. So what you're saying is that you thought it was a paper test. No wonder you were acting all crazy back at the Orbital Factory. I can already feel the nostalgia. All those horrible days stuck in the classroom are starting to feel like grand memories indeed. I'm really starting to wonder if I'll even be able to graduate at all. What's wrong with you? Why do you have to go and say something like that when I'm trying to reminisce about positive things? Alright, that's enough jabbering, you two. It's supposed to be a test. So how about the both of you try to at least look a little anxious? And just so you know, though, if you do happen to flunk the test, you don't even want to imagine the kind of homework I have in store for the both of you. We'll be fine. Just tell us what you want us to do and let us loose. Well, if you're so confident, how about proving that you're not just blowing hot air with the results of your test? Anyway, you both saw on the bulletin board the test will be a search conducted in Roulant sewers. Your objective is to retrieve the contents of the chest which has been placed somewhere in that area. The layout of the sewers is extremely simple, so you don't need to worry about getting lost either. However, there are real living, breathing monsters down there. So if you're careless and will let your guard down, you will be sorry. Allow me to give you this before I forget. tear bombs, and a monster guide. What's this book for? It's called a monster guide. It's used to record information about monsters and other opponents you meet. Whether you figure out an enemy's attributes, you should make immediate note of it in there. Sounds pretty straightforward to me. He who controls the flow of information controls the tide of battle, right? That's exactly what I'm saying. You've got a good head on your shoulders, Joshua. Some pretty useful advice. Thanks for the tip, Shara. We'll put it to good use. Alright then, let's get pumped and knock out the test. Don't forget though, this is an exam. We should make sure we treat it as such. Okay, so we're finally gonna get into combat. There appears to be a recovery point set up there. Let's use it if our HP and EP get become low before engaging in any further battles. Orbit charging stations are recovery points set up in dangerous areas. As a recovery point is approached, an exclamation mark will appear and 2 choices will be displayed by pressing the OK button. By selecting the rest option, all HP and EP will be restored. Sounds like a plan to me. It's okay. So that's kind of the thing with dungeons in this game. As long as you remain in dungeon, monsters do not respawn, I believe. I could be wrong when it comes to floors, but if I were to go fight this guy, then leave the dungeon itself and then come back, he would be back here. So I do want to check one thing. Why do I have the first 2 chapters of the Cornelia already? Interesting. Well, that's for later. The only thing I might want is Saint. It gives us basically a straight 25% increase to our magic and attack, which I'm not sure I have set up yet. Chaos Brand is pretty good. Let's see what we got. Monster at 12 o'clock. Be careful not to let them take advantage of your blind side. Got it. Monsters cannot attack from far away. They'll become visible as you approach them. Conditions at the start of battle will change depending on how a monster is engaged. Engaging an enemy from behind is advantageous, while being attacked from the enemy from behind is disadvantageous. Okay, so I can only attack this fight, so we might as well go for you. Oh, right, I think I can reach him. Alright, that's fine. Yeah, we basically slaughter these guys.
Piece of cake.
I need to go into tactics for a minute. It's Barrage and Black Fang. Is it their good ones? Yes. Black Fang is a ridiculous ability. Here comes some more. Depending on the enemy, some physical attacks may be ineffective. Let's use arts, not physical attacks. Okay. Arts are effective on enemies that are good at avoiding physical attacks. Arts also make long-range attacks possible, but require time to be cast. EP is consumed when arts are used. EP can be recovered by resting at inns, hotels, and or by using charge stations and other items like EP charge. Okay, so this battle is basically teaches us how to use our arts. Kind of show them off a little bit. Or just use a firebolt. Oh, I don't even have. No, I do. Here we are. It's nice as Joshua's spells are pretty much instantaneous right now, so... Cell. Let's try using crafts this time around. Since crafts have other effects besides just dealing out damage, they're worth a shot. Roger that. Crafts have a range of limits, but can be utilized instantly. CP is gained by dealing out or receiving damage during battle. Okay, so crafts aren't really magic. They're like various abilities that we have. So we have one that's like increases our strength, which is pretty good. Taunt, Hurricane, basically is a giant AoE ability. I kind of forget what Penetrate does. And Impede is really good because what it does is, like, if we see like an enemy who's gonna hit us for a lot of, just like doing a special attack, we can kind of stop that from being a thing. And then our main S-crafts, which are our big powerful abilities. So let's show off morale. It's usually a pretty good idea to start a battle with it. It's just a pure strength boost. And then Joshua has Penetrate, Attack Delay, Cloak and Dagger, Taunt. Evil Eye's pretty good with him. In general, they're not bad to use, but we want to kind of save up our CP to 100, well, even 200, because then we can use these abilities, and they're pretty much how you do like insta kill a lot of stuff.
That's that then. Let's move out.
And we've got a revolving ball. The chest is empty because of you. Nice work, hero. One of the things about this game series is that after every chest, they usually leave like a little message behind it. There is an achievement for reading them all, so I'm going to start doing that just now. Oh, what a surprise, another creepy thing. I wish there was an easier way to take care of them. One blow using an S-craft or S-break should do a trick for just about any enemy. That catches our CP has to be at least 100 to pull one of these moves. These devastating attacks can only be unleashed when the CP gauge is above 100. S-breaks are actions which allow S-crafts to be immediately unleashed while ignoring the battle order. S-crafts can be unleashed as S-breaks can be changed by going into tactics to the S-break within the enemy menu. Okay, so go ahead and just attack. Okay, so what it's going to show off here is like after we kill this guy, the enemy's going to get a turn. But what we can do is after we set this up, we can hit 1, and then immediately she'll use her special attack because we have 100 SP or CP. So it's kind of a good way to interrupt their turn and make... Or, it's not... I don't think we have it just yet, but there's another reason we would use that too. Let's see. So that's the treasure chest we're after, huh? We made it this far, the rest is going to be a piece of cake. Seems we got a little more breathing room at least. Let's pay close attention to our battle order this time. There should be a number of ways to get more mileage out of our actions. During battles, there are several bonuses which can be allotted to turns. Turn bonuses have the same effect regardless of whether or not allotted to an ally or foe. Using X-Break to ignore the battle order makes it easier to jump in and strip the enemy of their turn bonus. Yeah, so this is why that can kind of come in handy, because some of these bonuses, they'll be like increased attack for a turn. And we don't want to get hit with that. So, what do we want to do? it doesn't look like it matters because we are not going to be able to go again for a while. So use this. And then if I really wanted to, I'll just do this and just end it. And we can show Joshua's ability off.
That's that then. Let's move out.
Honestly, his ass crap is pretty good. It's like, because we hit every enemy, we'll just pretty much kill them. So we're so overpowered. Found small box. Weird, there's a couple of boxes inside the treasure chest. The fact that there's not just one, but two is kind of interesting too. What's inside? Remember, Estelle, our mission is to search and retrieve only. Pretty sure that looking inside those boxes don't fall under our mission objective. You're no fun at all, Joshua. This has nothing to do with our mission. It's what I like to call good, honest curiosity. You know, we're the only ones down here. We can get away with a teeny-weensy peek, right? If you feel like flunking today's test, but by all means, be my guest. Did you see the F word? Yep. Opening one of those boxes could result in an automatic fail for the both of us. If this were a real job, the contents of those boxes would belong to the client. As long as there was nothing illegal, we would have no right to open them. I know you're right, Joshua, but I just can't help myself. If you absolutely have to know what's inside, why not ask Miss Shara when we get back? But for now, we need to focus on getting out of here. Alright, alright. By looking inside the chest again, you flunk. Just kidding. Good work, you two. As a rule of training, it's going to need to confirm the items in your possession. Hand it over to the small box. Yep, they're the real deal, alright. Don't see any evidence of tampering either. It was a close one. I figured she'd try and set us up like that. Congratulations to the both of you. You've successfully passed your qualification test. You don't really think that something that simple would be a problem for us, did you? So, Shara, what's in those boxes you had us get? That's for me to know, you to find out, after your training is finished. It's enough chit-chat for now, so let's get back to work. We still have some things left to do. Seriously? But didn't you just say we passed the test? You still have to learn about how to report the results of your work. Remember that you're both tired, there's no time to shirk your duties. Get back to the guild. When is this day going to be over? Oh well, no sense of giving up when the finish line is in sight. Agreed. It seems like within the reaching distance of our goal. Your final training is how to report to the guild. Whenever you finish a job, it is your duty to report the results of your work to the guild. Reporting how you resolved the situation and the steps you took to get there are all part of a job as a bracer. Report your results to the front desk at each guild branch. And as you already know by now, Ina is in charge here at the Relent branch. In addition, this is where you'll be able to be paid for your work. I look forward to seeing great things from the both of you. Now that you're here, why don't you go ahead and report the results of today's training? Upon approaching the counter, a talk mark will appear. Pressing the OK button will display a list of options. Select Report to report to the guild. Current task is Junior Bracer Alliance class. Good job, you two. It seems like you were able to complete your objective without running into any major problems. Another thing to take note of is that depending on how you handle the job, you'll see an increase or decrease in the amount of pay you receive. When you report the results of your work to the guild, pay in the form of Mira isn't the only thing you will receive. You will also accumulate points which are known as BP, Bracer Points. BP are indication of your achievements as a Bracer. When these points exceed a certain value, you will advance in rank as a Bracer and be rewarded with a piece of special equipment by the guild. The rank of Junior Bracer starts at 9 and goes all the way to 1. Please set your sights on making first rank and work hard. The amount of Mira and BP you receive will also be recorded in your Bracer notebooks, so please have a look sometime later on. All that's left is now to finalize your training. Let's head back upstairs, shall we? I'll talk to you later, Ina. I'm sorry about putting you more work on your plate today than usual. Don't worry about it. Training new bracers is important for the future of the guild. I fully intend to work these two to the bone in any case. To the bone? And knowing Shara, it'll involve the whip. Let me say it again. Good work, you two. Ah, damn it, I actually hit the button. For now, you'll be learning from your, own real-world experience. Well then, Shara holds out the two small boxes. those boxes the ones... In answer to your question, yes. These are the boxes you retrieved during your today's test. You seem awfully curious to find out what's inside, Estelle. Are you saying it's okay that if we open them? That's right. Why don't the both of you have a look and see what's inside? Sweet. Alright, let's have a look. Estelle and Joshua open the boxes. Received Junior Bracer Emblem. This crest is... So that means we're... Estelle Bright, Joshua Bright, beginning this day at 1500 hours, you are both hereby appointed to the Junior Bracers within the Bracer Guild. From here on, you will work as members of the Bracer Guild to support the livelihoods of those around you, defend peace, and uphold justice. Congratulations, you two, and welcome into the fold. Did you hear that, Joshua? Become members of the Bracer Guild. I'm a Bracer now, huh? I think the realization is only just now beginning to sink in. Come on, Joshua. You should be jumping for joy or running around and screaming at the top of your lungs like this. Look at us now, world. We did it. I was happy until you made my eardrums bleed. I hate to interrupt the celebrations, Estelle, but I need to take off now. I have some backed-up work that needs my immediate attention. I understand. You have been spending a lot of extra hours working with us during this busy time for the guild. Before you head out, Shara, I just wanted to say thanks. Likewise, I appreciate all the effort you've gone through for us, Shara. Don't mention it. Training new recruits is one of the Bracer's many duties. Believe it or not, I was once in your shoes a long time ago when your father, Cassius, trained me. So that's why you have so much respect for my dad, huh? There's actually more to it than that, but I'll save that conversation for another day. As for the both of you, work hard to become full-fledged Bracers early on so you can help guide new recruits who come after yourselves. And in time, I hope to see you both become respectable Bracers like your father. Anyway, I'll leave you with that thought. I just don't get it. Get what? This is Sherazard, aka the Silver Streak, the most skilled young Bracers we're talking about. So why does she hold Dad in such high esteem? He just seems like nothing more than a no-good middle-aged man who's always out doing God knows what instead of being a father. A no-good middle-aged man, huh? From your viewpoint, it doesn't come as a surprise that you would see him in that fashion. Huh? Never mind. Let's hurry and head home. We should let Dad know we qualified as Junior Bracers. Right. Okay, so there's a couple things I need to do now. I believe I can pick up the book now. This keyboard is going to be really awkward for me for a bit. Hurry up and come on. Wait for me, Luke. Oh, it's you two. Oh, great, it's Estelle. Hi there, Joshua. Okay, you little twerp, what's with the "oh great, it's Estelle" remark? And what's the big hurry? You're telling us where you're headed. You're not thinking about wandering out of town alone, are you? Roads are full of monsters, I hope you know. You're such a pest, Estelle. Don't you know that there's no room for girls to be sticking their big fat noses in boys' business? Quit acting like you're a Bracer, you wannabe. How wrong you are, Luke. How incredibly wrong. You're more wrong than a fool who thinks it's better tasting milk and liberal than the milk that comes from Brazil Farm. No way. You're full of it, Estelle. In fact, as of just a few moments ago, we qualified to become real Bracers. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Real Bracers. More like Bracers in training, really. Don't think you should be getting on your high horse just yet, Estelle. Now, High Pony, on the other hand. Being a killjoy. You two are great. I'm so happy for the both of you. Oh, Pat, you're such a good little boy. Unlike that smart aleck and cynical brat you call a friend. This isn't fair. I'm supposed to become a Bracer first. I can accept Joshua being a Bracer before me, but getting passed by the likes of Estelle? What's the likes of Estelle supposed to mean? Just so you know, you can't even be a Bracer till you're 16 years old. Get it? Only mature people allowed. It means no more little kids who are still going to Sunday school. I don't know how I should put this, Estelle, but Sunday school is dying to have you back. You better watch out, Estelle. I'm gonna train up my secret base before you know it. I'm gonna be a Bracer, too. Come on, Pat, let's go. Alright, I'm coming. See you later, Estelle. Bye, Joshua. Boy, Luke. He's always trying to pick a fight with me. I wonder if he plain hates me or something. I think it's the exact opposite. What do you mean by that? Don't worry about it, it's just a boy thing. At any rate, what do you think Luke meant when he said secret base? I don't know why, but somehow it makes me curious. I know exactly what you mean. A secret base sounds really intriguing. The pure heart of a young child can be so inspiring at times. That's not really what I meant by curious. Okay, actually, before I do anything else. I believe this guy... Hi there, Estelle and Joshua. Oh, hi, Ridge. Looks like your training is over, is it? Humbled to know that you two are the youngest ever to pass the Bracer exam. Look forward to working with the same capacity. Such as well. To get back to work now, but if there's something you don't understand, just give me a holler. Okay. No current job listings. Okay. Okay, so before I do anything else... Hi there, Estelle and Joshua. How can I help you? Did you manage to become bracers? You bet we did. I should have you start calling me a Hyper Bracer Estelle from now on. By the way, Mr. Renan, did you have the Liberal News come in? Yeah, it came in a little after noon. Don't brush me off like that, you two. Whatever, I'll take one copy then. That comes to 100 Mira, please. Liberal News issue 1. I know my dad always buys a copy of this magazine. Does it really sell that well? It sure does. The Liberal News has an excellent reporter and camerawoman who has done a great job reporting the latest and most reliable news. We're supposed to have been running a story relating to Queen Alicia's birthday celebration. One more thing before you go. The gift of my way of saying congratulations. A free sample item I received with any of my shipment of goods. But don't hold back the free part against me. What's that supposed to be for? There's tons of blank pages. It's a recipe book, isn't it? You got it. When you get hurt fighting, you just limit yourself to healing bombs all the time. You're going to cut pretty deep into your wallets. That's where a recipe book comes into play. If you eat food to recover your strength instead, it's basically free. Assuming you have the ingredients anyway. So if you eat anything new, write down what's in it. You'll have a lot of recipes in no time. So how about you try this out? Go ahead and eat this cookie, Estelle. Sweet maple cookie. Well, I haven't made it a personal rule never to turn down sweets. Basically, all you have to do is eat the food to learn the recipe. It's as simple as that. As you're traveling about, you should eat whatever food you come across you haven't had an opportunity to try before. Wow, that sounds pretty convenient. It's not like I don't like cooking and all, it's just that I've never seemed to get any better. I'd sure love to be able to increase my repertoire and really shock my dad's taste bud for once in my life. That's the spirit. And in passing, if you need any ingredients, I'll be delighted to service your cooking needs. You really know how to solicit your customers, Mr. Renan. Thank you for the recipe book. We'll put it to good use. Eating the recommended dish at restaurants or using to-go meals adds the recipe to the recipe book. By selecting the recipe book, all the learned recipes will be displayed as long as the necessary ingredients are available. The food can be made. There are two types of food: sit-down meals, which must be eaten on the spot, to-go meals, which can be carried as items. Sit-down meals cannot be carried as items. Ingredients used for cooking can be bought at the store or acquired from monsters. Okay, I'm pretty sure I have all of those already. I got some pretty good ones too, so if I really need to... The chef's curries is a pretty reliable item, especially since it's going to basically recover half our health. But if I needed to... If I didn't already have these, I'd have to go to these restaurants, and you can kind of eat the food there. And then there's like a couple other things here that we could eat if we really wanted to, but since we already got them, I don't have to worry about that. I think now I can grab the book. Thanks to airliners in recent days, even Roulette has been able to get a good selection of books. Instead, I find myself compelled to buy a new one each time I head to the store. But I got yelled at by my wife for getting so many, so maybe I should cut back a little bit. I've only got the first chapter of this novel, so if you want, I'll give it to you. Cornelia, Chapter 1. Oh, actually, I do need to grab one more thing. Because we are going to give our dad the first newspaper. Does he not have it? whatever. We'll just read this one. Milestone anniversary. The half-year countdown to Her Majesty Queen Alicia's 60th birthday celebration has begun. It's been a banner year for Her Royal Highness, sparking more anticipation than this event has ever seen before. But we must not forget, too, that this is the year's the 10th since the 100-Day War, a period of intense turmoil of all of Liberal. As we celebrate, let us also reflect on the tragedies of the past, that we may refrain from ever reliving them in the future. We've been afforded this luxury of hindsight that we may use it to the fullest. We're underway in the Royal City. Main Street is filled with the bustle of men and women ferociously preparing decor and merchandise for the upcoming festivities and developing new products specifically for sale during the celebration. The competition is truly cutthroat. I yearn for my customers' taste buds to sing with delight, says Miss Sorbet, local ice cream purveyor who deals her wares in the city's East Block. Sadly, her new menu will remain a mystery to us until the day of the festival. As the population grows, more and more businesses pop up all around me, but that means there's more customers, especially at a festival time. So I'm certainly not complaining, she explains with a sly smile. Miss Sorbet seems to have a few tricks up her sleeve, so it's all to her competitors we say, watch out. Who shall stand and who shall fall? Prior to the festival, Her Majesty will be hosting an annual martial arts competition in the Royal Arena. This fiercely competitive tournament is always a big hit, with some avid spectators even regarding it as the day's main event, which team will come out on top. And burglaries across the Bose region. According to the resources, the Bose region has seen a string of burglaries over the last several days, and people have had enough. The Royal Army Border Patrol station at Hawken Gate has stepped up efforts to apprehend the group of criminals responsible for these acts, and anyone with information on our identities is urged to contact the Border Patrol immediately. And then finding the perfect getaway, the Kingfisher Inn along the beautiful Valeria Lake Shore is more popular than ever, following a reason from the women of the Royal City. Won't you come and fish with us too? Okay. Since I just picked up the first one, I'm going to read this real quick. The Imperial Chronicle. I stood there upright in front of the revolving doors, shuffling the heels of my boots against the ground. Pulling slightly on the collar of my trench coat, I dropped my chin and gazed at the partial reflection in the curved glass. Aside from my short-cropped hair, I wore a modest-looking double-breasted leather raincoat and a pair of special-order steel-reinforced boots, both of which at first glance appeared the most common of common apparel. Yet they were in fact much more than the naked eye could detect. My ordinary average appearance, it was of just as much importance today as it had been on any other day in times past. Not far off, the sounds of footfalls echoed rhythmically like the steady beat of a pendulum swinging back and forth as the throngs of those coming and going moved quickly along the cobblestone avenue, enveloped and tinged silver by the morning mist. At times, the calling voice of the street peddler disrupted the steady flow. But soon as the hawking cry faded away, it would resume its course. Each morning I found myself setting foot in the Imperial City. I also found my surroundings to be unchanged and stained by the same somber tone of gray. As I took up a magazine from the underarm of a street vendor, I tossed a few mirror in the left hand, poised expectantly behind his back. The Imperial Chronicle, a magazine I read so often that even the ink's bleeds were familiar. Roughly flipping open its cover, I scanned the headlines along the top of its monochrome pages. Suddenly my breath caught in my throat. At the very bottom of the local news page, I found these letters. That sequence of characters which I had not heard or seen since my time in the life-changing incident. My eyes instantly gravitated to the spot for the time, remained fixated. Ein Solnate. The very meaning of those letters became lost in my senses as I stood motionless, my gaze fixed on the small line of text, until it all seemed to coalesce into a single blotch of ink. Within a few seconds of blank comprehension, my vision settled and I retched my eyes to the beginning of the article. As I began to read, my memories verged on a single point in my past, and I slowly started to run it in reverse, heading for that fateful event 3 years prior when this name was first introduced to me. It was on an afternoon all those years ago on a day not unlike this one, where the capital was overshadowed by the typical gloomy aura. I was a younger a 22-year-old boy who stood silently in front of the boutique door as usual, double-checking his appearance before lightly treading over to Mitch's Imperial Factory. It was on this day that it had been arranged for me to retrieve a new job for Mitch, the shop owner himself. Though he was a dab middle-aged man, I, being the ornament enthusiast I was, had found myself one of his few regular customers. And down the dank alleyway, and passing through a particularly rotted wooden gate, I could see the soft glow of flickering orbital light just outside the entrance of the factory, whose structures was halfway below the street level. I first began receiving jobs from Mitch about the time when dissension first began to occur in society over the 100-Day War. It was during this period that relations between the Liberal Kingdom and the Empire were at their worst, and the importation of ordnance had become almost non-existent. Conspiring with underground elements and planning a smuggling operation, Mitch made me out to be his accomplice in crime. For the job which I received by hand was none other than that of the courier. Being nothing more than a commoner in my teens at the time, I had met him in the juvie devoid of any connections in life besides. I naturally jumped at the opportunity without a moment's hesitation, yet even after relations with the Liberal had returned to some degree of normalcy, I realized I was in no mood to give up my specialty when forced mainly on the delivery of stolen goods. The reason being, there was no job out there which would bring the kind of mirror this one did. With an unrefined and inconspicuous appearance, I had countless times before hidden items of various sorts in my hat and trousers and made my way hither and thither between the borders of these neighboring nations. And though to my delight my wallet has become increasingly laden with bounty of monetary rewards, I had routinely changed my aliases as precautionary measure. So much in fact that these false names had built up quite a list over the last few years. I've been known as Phil the Frivolous, Rooney the Trickster, even Chris the Coward. However, Mitch had always called me by one name, Toby. That was the identity I'd used for my initial job, and one I liked above all the others. Okay, so I do have Chapter 2, but we will save that when I pick it up. Let's go ahead and save. Okay, so I think we just gotta leave the town. Estelle, Joshua, am I glad I found you two? Oh, hi, Ina. Is something wrong? You seem to be in quite a hurry. We've got a bit of a problem. Is your father at home today? Yes, he is. He said something about having to sort out a bunch of documents. What's going on? You know Luke and Pat, right? Sure do. In fact, we saw them not so long ago. What's wrong? Are you in some sort of trouble? I don't know how to say this, but I just heard from Uni that Luke and Pat ran to the tower that lies to the northern outskirts of Relent. You mean the Tower Esmeraldas? Isn't it the place supposed to be a breeding ground for monsters? That's what they say. Unfortunately, at the moment, Charizard is on another bracer business, so I want to ask your father to bring the boys home safely. What are you talking about? There's no time for that. Josh and I will go after them and bring them back. I don't know if that's such a good idea. The two of you only just qualified to be junior bracers today. With all due respect, I believe Estelle's judgment is correct in this situation. If the two of us hurry, we may even be able to catch the boys before they reach the tower. Understand. I will take responsibility for whatever happens. As a merchant request from the Bracer Guild, so you lose no time in bringing about the safe return of these children. Roger that. Understood. The Esmeralda's Tower can be reached by taking the western path of the junction along the Magna Trail. You can get onto the Magna Trail through the Relent's northwest branch. I'll be on standby at the guild, so if you run into trouble, you know where to find me. The first real job. Come on, Joshua. We don't have any time to lose. I'm right behind you. So I'm pretty sure this is actually like an official job. I wonder if Luke and Pat are alright. I'm gonna stop them. If I run into any fights, I'll go ahead and do it, but I'm not going to go out of my way to fight anything since it's not going to really matter. Alright. Vibing Balm. Nothing remains in this chest except a lonely dead spider. Don't need to go to the Magna Mine yet. That's something for much later. Chest is empty. I wonder whose fault that is. So we've come all the way to Esmeralda's Tower. I didn't see any sign of them along the trail. They wandered inside? It's quite likely that's the case. Let's go in. So we'll need to hurry. Right. Okay. I think at this point I need to be careful. I think this is possible to fuck up. It's dark in here. I'm scared. Being a baby. Only on the first floor of this place. Did you hear that? They really did come in here. Estelle, are you alright? Luke! Pat! If you can hear me, answer me now! Those are brats. Are they pretending they can't hear me? I might have climbed up to the second floor. Let's hurry and see if we can find them. we gonna do? Somebody help! Rush in simultaneously with Joshua. Let's go, Joshua. Right, I got your back. You monsters, go somewhere else. No, shoo. Leave us alone. Chew on this. Estelle? What are you doing here? Joshua, you're here too. Get back, you two. These monsters aren't playing around. We'll take care of them. Okay. Yeah, I kind of forget that if there's any NPCs on the map, they also get a turn. So we're gonna want to kill him first. Because he's up first in the turn order. Get rid of him. Okay, that's fine.
Good to go.
Looks like that's that. Yeah, I'm glad everyone's safe too. By the way, that was great timing the way you blitzed those monsters, Estelle. You really think so? Is it safe now? Man, that was awesome. You really showed them, Estelle. Not bad for a girl. You little twerp. That hurts. What are you trying to do to me? What's wrong with you? You even dragged poor Pat all the way up here against his will. It's time to think about what you did today. Oh, you're hurting me. Stop it. I said stop it, you violent she-devil. This is the thanks I gave for saving your neck, huh? It's time to give you a taste of my special discipline. Ow. Alright, Estelle, I'm sorry. Everything was all my fault. Estelle? Shouldn't we forgive each other like they teach at school? This brat doesn't need forgiveness, but a little discipline should do the trick. Estelle, behind you. Something with my teeth. It's something with teeth, isn't it? Nice, monster. I'm not gonna make it in time. Huh? Dad, you came. You still lack in skill and understanding, Estelle. You must always prepare for unseen danger by sharpening your senses. It's part of what it means to be a bracer. Dad? What are you doing here? I just happened to be in town and heard the whole story from Aina. I give you points for your quick thinking and taking action to come after the children, but you failed to follow through completely. I really messed up, didn't I? It's a good thing you showed up when you did. I'm sorry, I should have been watching her back. That just means you have room for improvement. Constantly working to overcome your weak spots is the key. Understood. So how about we head home, everyone? Can you boys walk? I think so. That was incredible, Mr. Bright. It was like a gazillion times more awesome than Estelle. Of course I was. I'm her father. Alright, everyone, let's file on out of here. I'm with you, Mr. Bright. Who's the glory hog now? I mean, I guess I should be thankful that Dad saved me behind. Why does he have to go and take all the credit like that? It really chaps my hide. It's just the way he is. After all, he is Cassius Bright. It seems like you had quite a day. That is just unbelievable. The second we get back to Relent, he says, I'll leave the reporting to you, and takes off for home. Sheer nerve, I tell you. There's no need to make a mountain out of a molehill over it. So the boys came back safe and sound. Anyway, I think that's all there is to report. Okay, so yeah, we made the right decision there. That's why we were able to get a little bit of a bonus. Rank, you did well for your first assignment. From the details of your report alone, I believe I can commend you both for a job well done. You should be proud of yourselves. You really think so? I know so. In fact, you'll do even better in your next job. If anything else comes up, I would appreciate your help again. Sure. How about we head home, too? Hey, Joshua. Do you think I'm really cut out to be a bracer? Well, you seem to have inherited your father's skill with the staff, and your nosy personality doesn't let you ignore someone in distress. Really? You think so? Sure. Why are you asking? Still thinking about what happened back at the tower? Yeah, it was my carelessness. Luca got caught up in the middle of a dangerous situation. Dad hadn't come when he did. He could have been seriously injured. I guess I'm just a little worried or not I'd be able to stay at top of things in the future. That kind of talk doesn't sound like the Estelle I know. Huh? If we fail today, all we'll have to do is take back our losses tomorrow, right? Overthinking and worrying about things that haven't happened yet is definitely not like you. Isn't being a bracer what you always dreamed of? How would you expect to succeed if you let something like what happened today discourage you? Joshua, you're right. This isn't like me at all. I don't think there's a serious expression really suits your face either. You laughing like a big ditz is far more natural for you. Hey, what's that supposed to mean? If you're to see my angry expression, you keep that up. Okay, I admit, the last comment was pushing things a bit. I'll overlook it this time. Thanks for cheering me up. I don't know about you, but I'm so ready to get home and eat. My stomach started growling like a bear. Maybe glutton is more than a mark than ditz. So all we gotta do is go back home. We're home, Dad. We finished reporting to the guild like you told us to. Good work, kids. The details of your reports will be revealed at each branch and affect your pay and rank advancement in the future. Make sure you always remember to do it. Don't worry, we will. Before I forget, I got the copy of the liberal news you wanted. There was this letter at the guild, too. I handed over the liberal news in the letter. A letter, huh? I'm going to get cleaned up and start dinner. Oh, and Dad? Thanks for coming when you did. You really helped me out back there. I see you being rather gracious today. Papa is happy. How delightful that my daughter has finally understood what a great man her father truly is. There's no need to hold back, Estelle. Come and jump into your father's loving arms. In your dreams. I swear the men in this house have one thing in common. They never know when to shut up. Guess she's not as depressed as I thought she'd be. Should I be thanking you, Joshua? I didn't do much. Just give her a push in the right direction. Estelle's a resilient girl to begin with. Yes, she is, but she still has a long way to go. She'll run into more than just a few stumbling blocks in this line of work. Overcoming those obstacles is what will teach her to stand on her own 2 feet. There's that soft side of yours talking again. Oh no, are eggs supposed to explode like that? I guess I shouldn't have gone expecting to make a perfect meal in the first single try. Now wait, cooking is supposed to be about passion. Exploding eggs are passionate, right? Now what's more? Daughter of mine can sometimes be a little too passionate. I think I'll go help with dinner. And we don't want the curtains to catch fire again. But at this rate, there's no telling when we can expect to have a bite of food ready on the dinner table. Alright then, let's see what this letter is all about, shall we? Cassius cuts the letter's seal. A message from the Erebonian Empire. What? Wow, this is a surprise. The new dish is what I call Estelle's explosion over rice. Be sure to savor every last morsel. I will. Your cooking this evening is excellent. My compliments to the chef. This is raw talent at its best. Today certainly has been a busy but a great day nonetheless. Qualifiers Junior Bracers had our first real assignment. I didn't lose my eyebrows making dinner this time. Not to mention the food being delicious. For a first attempt, this dish is actually quite edible. At first, I thought I might have to pitch it out the window when you weren't looking, but it seems the technique won't be necessary tonight. Sometimes you're just so despicably rude, Dad. Don't you know how to humble and just say something tastes nice? Alright then, how about this? Boy, I never thought I'd be able to eat something so wonderful like this before I had to leave on business. You made a splendid meal, Estelle. Thanks, Dad. Wait, business? Are you really leaving again? Yes, something unexpected came up. This time I'm going to be away for a while. Hold on a minute. You're leaving? When? Tomorrow morning. What? I don't care what kind of job you're doing. That's just too soon. It's about the letter, isn't it? Is there some sort of incident? Oh, it's nothing like that, just a simple investigation. I'll have to visit a number of places, so it'll take me about a solid month before I'm through. That being the case, please take care of the house while I'm away. What do you mean, that being the case? You always use some vague excuse like that and they take off for who knows how long. I have to accept it, Estelle. Bracer's job is to help those who come to us for help. I know, but what are you going to do with all the jobs here at the Relent branch? You've already accepted a few of them, haven't you? Oh, only about 5 or 6. So I was thinking, how about the both of you handle them for me instead? What? Are you really asking us to do a job you're supposed to be doing? That I am. I'll have you do the ones which I think you can accomplish. I'll ask Charizard to handle the difficult ones. So what do you say? Sure, of course we will. You're okay with doing these two, right, Joshua? Yeah, no problem. Looks like a good way to get some bracer experience as a bracer. Then it's settled. I'll stop by the guild and let Ina know about the change of plans before I leave. Alright, I'm starting to feel a bit more determined than ever. We'll have to bust our tails with these jobs so we don't tarnish your name while you're gone. Oh, Estelle, my beloved daughter. Papa is so proud. Oh, my dear Lena, who art in heaven. Can you see her your daughter now? Little Estelle has grown up to be such a lovely young woman. Face it, Dad, you're getting old. If people lose their trust in you at this age, you might as well throw in the towel forever. I'm only helping you out because your daughter have a duty to pay you back for the last 16 years. I'm only 45, and what's more, I'm very likely to be the most active member in the entire guild. Bad for a pair of comedians. By the way, Dad, which flight will you be on tomorrow? The one headed for Grand Cell or the one for Bose? I'll be on the one headed for Grand Cell. My flight departs for 10 o'clock in the morning. That means I have to get up a little earlier tomorrow. Better set my alarm clock just in case. Still awake, Joshua? You better hold off on the liquor or Estelle will get mad at you again. It's just my way of lifting my spirits before I travel. How about yourself? Would you like to join me for a drink? I'll pass. Actually, what I should be saying is don't offer alcohol to minors. I'm not like Cher, who would jump at any chance to enjoy a cup or 10. That's because she holds her liquor much better than I do. Something really serious happening, isn't there? There's no conclusive evidence, but there appears to be some sort of movement within the Empire. The Erebonian Empire? Sounds pretty suspicious. This movement doesn't appear to be overt, but that's what has me worried. I intend to do a little probing at the Erebonian Embassy to see what turns up. Understood. I'll make sure to look after Estelle while you're gone. Don't spoil that girl, you hear me? Now that she's become a bracer, she needs to learn to look after herself. Estelle will be fine. She's got good instincts despite being a little rough around the edges. She has a talent with the staff as well. There's no doubt in my mind that she'll be a first-class bracer someday. Yet at the present, she's like a babe in the arms who knows nothing about the realities of the world around her. But at some point in time, she'll have to choose which path to follow in life. And Joshua, the same could be said for you too. It's already been 5 years since you become part of this family, hasn't it? How time flies. Yes, it does appear that way. About what you said back then. Are you sure you won't consider taking those words back? For me, keeping my word is what defines who I am. If I can't do something as simple as that, I don't know how I could live with myself. I know this may sound stubborn, but I can't take back what I said. I'm sorry. There's no need to apologize. But I'd like you to remember this. No matter what path you choose in life, you can't erase these past 5 years. Estelle and I will always be your family, no matter what may befall you. Thanks, Dad. Prologue. Father's Love, New Beginning. Well, it looks like it's time for me to board my flight. Estelle, don't do anything I wouldn't do for myself, and try not to be a handful for Joshua either. For the umpteenth time I've heard you already. Why don't you try not to go overboard yourself with your own work? You're not getting any younger, you know. Say what you will, but I'm not about to be overtaken by any youngsters. Charizard, I'm really sorry about placing all this work on your shoulder at the last minute. Please don't be. I'm slightly concerned, however, about whether or not I can be a decent job in your place. No need to be humble, Silver Streak. And I don't mean to make your life any more difficult, but please keep an eye on these two. You can just leave that to me. Is tightening the reins not spoiling these two fine with you? You definitely understand the way I think. What's this all about? Looks to me like a mutual understanding between master and pupil. The Grand Sail bound airliner Lynn will be departing shortly. All passengers, please aboard the airship now. Uh-oh, better take my seat. Have a great trip, Dad. Take care of everything while you're gone. Don't forget to bring me back a souvenir. Not sure everywhere you're going, but don't forget to bring me back a souvenir. I don't fancy something would be nice. Hey now, this is a trip for business, not pleasure. But if I have any money left over, I'll certainly think about it through. Alright, you two. Be good while I'm gone. Gone. Again. Yeah, come on, you two. There's no need to look so down. Your father will be back in no time. I don't know what kind of investigation he's been asked to do this time, but when it comes to your father, he'll have it done before you know it. I'm not sad that he's gone. He's always been way more than he's been at home. He's always been away way more than... Fuck! I might need to end soon, please. He's always been away more than he's been at home. Alright, if you say so. Anyway, I'm gonna get on to work those jobs your father left for me. But if you run into any trouble, give me a holler. Will do, but first, I'd like to try and finish a few jobs with Joshua. I want to see what we're capable of doing as junior bracers. Alright, if you insist. I imagine with Joshua tagging along, he's probably not much to be worried about. Good luck, you two. Thanks. We'll do our best. So, what do you want to do now, Estelle? So we stop by the guild? Yeah, we should probably talk to Ina and find out what jobs are waiting for us. Let's go! Okay. I think they give us some pretty basic jobs in the beginning. So we gotta find the shiny rock. Charles, third and Mira, easy. I'd like someone to find a shiny rock. Please speak to her directly for details. I think I might have dropped it behind the Melder's Oracle Factory and the Milchmane Road Monster. First monster known as a pine plant has been spotted revolving the Milchmane Road. Bracers from this branch are requested to deal with this start immediately. So let's see here. I don't think that'll show me. I think the Milchmane Road is this one right here. So we can both do these pretty quick. These don't take too long. This is really weird. Where could it have gone? Oh, excuse me. Can I ask you something? You didn't see a shiny rock around here anywhere, did you? Huh? A shiny rock? That's right, one that sparkles. You didn't see a rock like that lying around here somewhere, did you? You're saying you lost something? I don't remember seeing anything like that. Do you know where you might have dropped it? My mom was calling for me, so I ran to the general store where she was. I know I had it in my hand at the time, but when I came back here, it was gone. When you say general goods store, you mean Mr. Renaud's store, right? Did you look in front of his store? Obviously, that's the first place I looked. You don't need to treat me like a kid, you know. Aren't you a charmer? Well, I already asked the Bracer Guild to help find it, so I'm sure it'll show up sooner or later. If you do happen to come across it, give me a holler straight away. I'll probably be around. Okay, so that is going to be right... Where are you? I think it's like right here. Huh? What's the matter? I wonder what this is. There's something shining down there through the sewer gate. You're right. Looks like something must have fallen through. The sewers? Tell me you forgot about the sewers already. Oh, that smelly, monster-infested place we were in not that long ago? right, those sewers. We went there during the practical training, right? Interested in the sewers should be just behind the chapel. If you're so interested in what's down there, then how about we check it out a little later? Sure, let's do that. There's a chapel. Go ahead and enter the sewers. It shouldn't take us too long because I think it's like pretty much at the end. That's how you want to play it. That's fine. Okay.
Alright, we're good to go.
Found the quartz fragment. Hey now, the thing we saw shining through the sewer grate is this. Seems like it. Quartz fragment, huh? Now we know why it was shining so much. The sparkles are so beautiful. It made a septium too, right? Loosely speaking, yes, but let's talk about it later. This is really a place to have a leisurely chat. Guess you're right. No normal person would want to stay here any longer than he had to. He's gonna crit us, but it's not gonna be by much. Yeah, that's fine. Kid. As I said, I know this is a little bit cheating since we are kind of overpowered. It makes the battles a little bit easier, extremely easy. But at the same time, if I didn't do that, playing on hard would be a nightmare. It would take a lot longer to get through this. I kind of just want to show the story because the story is where this game is its best. Hey, is that rock? Could it be that this is the rock you've been looking for? Over the quartz fragment? Yep, this is the one, my shiny rock. Why is it all dirty like this? You have something else to say before you complain? You guys are bracers, right? I've already paid your money to the guild. Therefore, I think I have a right to complain. It's not the problem here. No, Estelle, he's just a kid. I know that, but quartz is what you were looking for, right? Yeah, that's the one. Rock is really quartz? The same kind of quartz that's in an ornament? Yep, it's the same kind of quartz made of septum. It's chipped, so it doesn't have function anymore. I see. So this rock belongs to an ornament. What's wrong? You seem a bit out of it. Who, me? No, it's nothing. Glad you found it. I guess that's about it, then. Oh, that reminds me. Almost forgot. Here, take this. Grill meatball. My mom gave these to me and told me they're healthy, but kind of bitter, so I can't stand them. I appreciate what you did for me today. Seriously, what a cheeky little kid. I'm sure it's a difficult age for him, but I wonder why he was searching for that quartz. What do you mean? Now that you mention it, it does seem a little strange. But oh well, everyone has something they think is important. True words couldn't be spoken. Perhaps that kid has an interest in ornaments. I, for one, don't see what's so interesting about these overly complex gadgets. My brain goes numb just thinking about them. Except for the fact you'll have to get used to them sooner or later. You won't be able to fulfill your job as a bracer if you can't use one. Alright, I'll try and learn. Okay, so that's done. Let's head over to the guild, Estelle. We better ask Ina what job she has lined up for us. Oh, you suck! You're not gonna let me go out until I actually talk to her. Okay, that's fine. Oh, good morning, Estelle and Joshua. Your father already left. Just barely. So we came here to find out about the jobs he left for us. Sure, there are a total of 3 jobs I've lined up for you. For the first one, I'd like you to head out to the farm west of here. The farm west of here? Is that where Tio lives? Tio? I seem to have heard that name somewhere before. Tio Purcell. She was one of our classmates at Sunday school. She's also the Purcell farmer's owner's daughter. Really? It's actually the Purcell farm that has put in a request to have someone exterminate some monsters. Oh? They're really having problems like that? Fortunately, nobody has been hurt, but the owner and family are upset over the fields being destroyed by the creatures. Therefore, the guild received an extermination request. I never would have expected something like that to happen. Okay, but head over there right now. Here, take this with you. This document certifies that you were dispatched by the guild. Please give it to the owner of the farm. I already know Tio's father pretty well, so I don't really think that's necessary. We'll take it just in case. Might as well just report. Good work. It seems you completed your objective without any trouble. Okay. Good. Okay, yep, this is Milch Main Road. So there's a couple things. So every once in a while there is one of these treasure chests that is kind of like a challenge fight. Or would be a challenge fight if I wasn't broken. Since there's so many enemies here, do you want to cast this ability? You open the empty chest and stare inside. The chest stares back accusingly. Yeah, so like I said, eventually there's like there's a couple of these chests throughout the world, and they're kind of a challenge, and they will mess you up if you're not prepared for them. Like you actually have to grind out just a little bit in order to be able to handle some of this stuff, but I already did that in another playthrough, so we don't have to worry about that.
That's that then.
I think what I want to look out for is a very specific monster, just to show it off. I don't think we'll see it here. But, it's kind of a chance. Let's see, though. Don't see him. The other thing we're looking for is a extermination monster, which should be on the main road somewhere. There it is. Actually, while I'm here, you here? Stationed here recently. I've been working on a farm, but I decided to enlist in the Royal Army. I think he's the one who gives us a chapter 2 of the books. We don't have that yet, so exterminate this guy. Forgot enemy self-destruct.
Alright, we're good to go.
Not a problem since exterminate monster on Milch Main Road. Okay. So we're just gonna keep an eye out for this guy. Should be able to handle this. Oh. That's a bit of a problem. Okay. You know what? It doesn't even matter. We'll just go up like this.
That's that then. Let's move out.
Okay. So as you can see, those guys are they're a bit of a rare spawn, and then also they're kind of like metal slimes in Dragon Quest and like other rare enemies in like Final Fantasy. That if you don't kill them before their turn comes up, they will most likely run away. But if you do manage to kill them, they get some good, great experience in Deceptive stuff. But since we are like level 39, they gave us the same experience as everything else, just one. We'll go and Richard Guild real quick. Turn this other quest in. Now we advance to Junior Class 8. Work, siege completed. There we go. Shouldn't be anything else on the board. Let's head over to the farmhouse, which is another part where we have to do this a specific way, or we risk losing points. Now, granted, I'm going mostly off memory here, but when we come here, this place is always so tranquil. Hard to imagine monsters running amok here. Certainly don't sense anything out of the ordinary either. Anyway, let's go ask someone here to fill us in on the details. I wonder if Tio is home today. It's Joshua. Did you come to play with us? She had the time, but I'm afraid today I'm here for work. Work? It's no fun if we can't play. Maybe later if there's time. These kids really like you, Joshua. Hi, Tio. It's been a while, hasn't it? Estelle? And Joshua, too? Did you guys come here for a visit? Not exactly. We're here on bracer business. I heard that you've been having some trouble with monsters. Estelle and Joshua explained that they're here to do their father's work while he's away. You've finished all your training. That's wonderful news. Maybe you can help after all. So really monsters giving you trouble, huh? Of Regrettably, that's been the case the past several days now, thanks to which I'm suffering from a lack of sleep, which means the monsters only come out at night. You're very perceptive, Joshua. It'd be better if you got all the details from my father, though. Imagine he should be back from delivering the milk and vegetables any time now. Good afternoon, Mr. and Mrs. Brazel. How's everyone getting on these days? Other than Estelle and Joshua, what brings you to our neck of the woods? Did you come to see Tio? We're actually just chatting with her outside. To tell the truth, we're here with an errand from the Bracer Guild. Estelle hands Mr. Brazel the guild referral, and Joshua explains that they're here taking over for their father while he is away. Is that so? Don't you think this job is a little too dangerous for the two of you to handle? I agree. I'd feel terrible if one of you were to get hurt. Don't sweat it. We're bracers after all. Taking care of monsters is right up our alley. The guild has even authorized us to carry out this task. If you wouldn't mind leaving it to us, we'd be more than grateful. Alright then, go ahead and have at it. Thank you very much, Mr. Brazel. Then, could you tell us a little more about the monsters that you've been wrecking your fields? I haven't been able to get a clear look at one of them yet. They resemble something like a chubby cat. As far as I can tell, 3 or 4 appear at night and raid our fields, gnawing at anything they can get their grubby little paws on. They don't seem to be threatening exactly, but they're extremely nimble. We've tried many times to capture them over the course of the last several nights, but to no avail. Sounds like a pretty strange bunch of creatures, if you ask me. Since they only appear under the cover of night, we have to wait for it to get dark. And how about taking a load off until then? I assume you'll be joining us for dinner, right? You said the magic word. You bet I will. I'm a huge fan of your cooking, Miss Brazel. I can't wait. You sure know how to please a woman who spends a lot of time toiling in the kitchen. For that, I'll whip you up something special that'll live up to your expectations. Delicious. Your mom's cooking is as good as ever, Tio. That's just because she gets excited to cook whenever we have guests over for meals. I feel really bad for Joshua, though. Bless you. But the little one's jumping all over him like that. It's probably a good thing. Surprisingly enough, kids tend to latch onto him a lot. If anything, I'm more blown away by the fact that children enjoy playing with such a stick in the mud. Bless you. I think it's a bit of an over-exaggeration, don't you? He's definitely courteous, and maybe even a tad reserved, but if you get to know him, he's really a caring young man. The fact that he's not self-conscious about it, too, gives him points in my book. You really think so? Think about it. With those striking facial features, mysterious amber eyes, and lush black hair, it's only natural that he'd be a target for all the young girls. Is Joshua really that popular? Are you blind, Estelle? Rumor has it he's more than just a few girls who've asked him out to go out with him. He's turned them all down, though. I had no idea. Joshua never said a word about it. I don't know how I even begin to describe his secretive nature after hearing this. About how utterly cruel of him to be not confided in me. If you were a boy, I imagine it would be a different story, but as a girl, I don't think there's something he would talk to you about. The fact you haven't fallen for him yourself is beyond me. Well, why would I? Estelle, you in there? You're in there, aren't you? It's about time for we do our rounds. Alright, I'm coming. I'll be back after Joshua when I get the job done, Tio. I'd like to continue this conversation then, okay? Alright, be careful out there, Estelle. That girl, she's either completely out of touch with the matters of the heart, or just plain dense. Poor Joshua. He really has his work cut out for him. Seems as though the monsters always show up about this time. Better get outside to take a look around. What's wrong, Estelle? Gotta ask, Joshua. You don't happen to have any secrets you're not telling me about, do you? Come on now. You're coming up with this stuff. Since you came to live with us, you've always done everything together, right? Even though we've had our fair share of fights, they're all good memories for me now. And what I mean to say is, I've come to think of you as family in every sense of the word. Estelle? So, if there's anything on your mind you'd like to talk about, I'm available to lend a ear. You know, about things like trouble with your love life and whatnot. What are you trying to say? I just wanted to let you know that I'm here to listen if you need someone to talk to, that's all. So let's hurry up and get out of there so we can kick some monster butt. What kind of nonsense is Teal putting in that girl's head? Secrets, huh? it's really dark out here in the countryside. So Joshua, how do you think we should go about making the rounds? Let's see, how about we start by checking around the house first and move to the fields, stable, and greenhouses. Should be able to cover the entire farm doing it that way. Alright, let's go. Okay, so... monsters here. Alright, let's keep moving. I don't think they appear until we actually look. But just to be on the safe side, I'll check the fields. It's awfully quiet. All I hear are the bugs chirping. Doesn't look like they've shown up yet. I wonder if they're aware of our presence. Joshua, did anyone ever tell you the story as a kid? You know, the one about babies being born in the cabbage patch? There's another question entirely out of the blue. No, I was told about an angel with silver wings who delivers them. Interesting. So the explanation where babies come from differs depending on the region, huh? Maybe we get back to work. Okay. I should have figured monsters wouldn't be coming in here. I love the ornaments sure give this place a romantic ambiance. Makes me feel like it was all worthwhile just setting foot in here. You are definitely a ditz, Estelle. This is better than being a dense like someone I know. Psst, look. It's getting away. Hey, get back here, you little furball. Still sense his presence, staying put in the farm for the moment. Good, it's about to get caught. Okay, so, I think, in order to get the bonus, first we should need to get an eye on it. Okay, there it is. Got him. It's time to teach this critter a lesson. Here's where our job really starts, so stay alert and don't let your guard down. You know what? Let's end this with a craft. No kill like overkill. Okay, and then arts.
Alright, we're good to go.
Goodness, the work of a bracer is something else. Kids have done a fine job of rounding up these creatures. It was nothing really. I wanted to ask you though, now that they've been caught, what do you plan on doing with them? Do we really have to exterminate them? Of course we do, Estelle. They're the reason we came up here in the first place. But the mission of a bracer is to protect civilians and uphold justice. Showing mercy to a bunch of monsters is just as absurd and completely illogical. I see what you're getting at, but I know it's only some vegetables that was damaged, so what do you think about letting this slide this time? You know, after taking a beating like that, I'm sure they learned their lesson. Teal, Miss Purcell. But in this case, I strongly suggest otherwise. I myself am against killing them too. Whether it's us or them, the fact of the matter is we're all living beings trying to survive on the same land. To some degree, I think we need to be mindful of those creatures living around us as we go about our daily lives. I know you may disagree with me, Joshua. Would you mind sparing these creatures just this once? Understood. This is coming from the ones who suffered the actual loss. I won't object to your request. I'm really sorry about this, Joshua. I know I had you two come all the way up here. Make sure to reinforce the fence and devise a way to prevent this from happening again. And that's that. Alright, you critters. Better count your blessing. If we catch you around here again, you won't be so lucky. Scram. Well, consider this matter closed. Tonight's been a long night, so how about we head back to the house and hit the sack? The two of you are more than welcome to spend the night. Sounds good to me. Appreciate your hospitality. Man, I'm beat. It's really late, so how about we hit the sack? Joshua? What's wrong? I'm sorry. Made the situation really awkward for everyone. Are you talking about what happened back there? Don't sweat it. I guarantee nobody thought anything of it. Really, your judgment was the most sound of anyone's. No, it wasn't. It was just cold-hearted and indifferent is all. Even now, I still think we shouldn't have shown any mercy and simply put those creatures out of their misery. Unlike you and Tio, I don't feel any compassion. It's times like this, I begin to loathe myself. It's almost as if there's something wrong with me as a person. Some part of my heart is broken or something. Joshua, don't you dare say such things about yourself. Estelle, I've watched almost everything you've done for the past 5 years. I'm confident in saying I know your strengths and weaknesses better than anyone else. Probably more than you yourself. I won't allow you to just discard everything with a bunch of nonsense. I don't ever want to hear you say you're broken again. I'm sorry, it was foolish of me to say that. As long as you understand what I said, that's what really matters. But you know what? Believe it or not, I'm happy to hear you admit how you felt. Why? Your real problem, Joshua, is that you always try to keep your feelings locked up inside. Whenever you're troubled or worried. You just go around this nonchalant look and try to fix everything by yourself. It's a little upsetting for someone who's supposed to be your family. Still, Joshua, you were able to lay bare your own weakness today. You've learned to trust in someone other than yourself. For that, I'm happy. I don't know what your point is, but I'm amazed you can just stand there and say something as embarrassing as that. I've got a whole lot more where that came from. But how about we call it a night? After all this endless running around, I'm ready to drop. Alright then. Have a good night, Estelle. Thanks. You're welcome, Joshua. Sleep tight. Hmm? No! Stop!
Well, it'll make him feel better, though, right?
Thank you both. You did us a great service. Once again, I apologize for things not turning out the way they should have. Please don't worry about it anymore. We were able to learn a lot from this experience ourselves. If there's anything else we can help you with in the future, please let the Bracer Guild know. Definitely be the first place we contact. Come and visit us anytime you're free, okay? We'd love to have you over for a night again when things are convenient for you. I'll treat you to some of my best cooking next time you come. Thanks for the invitation, Tio and Miss Prezell. We'll definitely be back to take you up on when our workload settles down. Oh my god, it's still going. I was hoping it'd stop right at this point. Alright, how about we head back to the guild? If we report this one, we can start on the next. Sounds like a plan. On to the next one. So first job, our father's is done. I think this is a good point to call it at this point. I'll still have my voice. And we'll continue more of this at some other point.